Hi everyone. So I'm just gonna do a little chatty get ready with me, I think. We'll see how it comes out in editing. I have some new things that I picked up from Ulta, Colourpop, Anastasia. I think that's mostly it that I'm gonna talk about in this video. So the first thing that's already on my lips, because I tried to start this video and it was looking really strange, so I started it over. This is the Lanolips Strawberry Balm. If you've seen my video about my dry flaky lip issue, then you know that lanolin works well for me. So it previously was only available in the UK and now it's being sold at Ulta, so that's pretty awesome. I got the strawberry. The reason that I was really interested in that is that it's easier to apply than a straight up 100% lanolin. It smells a little bit better because while the lanolin is, you know, super purified and whatnot, it doesn't smell like sheepy or anything. It just has a smell that I don't really love. And after using an entire tube of it, I got pretty sick of it. So I appreciate the kind of ridiculous, sweet, very fake smelling strawberry. And it's just a formulation, lanolin. It just works for my lips better than something that's made with petrolatum, which is kind of the go-to like Aquaphor kind of thing, which just for whatever reason doesn't work that well for me on my lips. So, all right, so I'm not really sure how I'm gonna do this. I have some things that I want to use from Colourpop, and I really want to use this new thing from Butter London, which has no nothing. Wow. It's like, I think it's called like an eye gloss, but it's more like just a liquid shadow, and it is an oil slick from what I recall, so it's that kind of blue-brown pigment type thing. So I want to use this somehow. Not really sure how. I haven't used it on my eyes yet. No, I put it over some other look I was doing already, so. I did return the Maybelline Color Tattoo liquid shadows, by the way. They were just not good for the texture on my eyelids. I have a feeling I'm gonna be looking a little crazy today. Next, I'm gonna take the Colourpop shadow in Telepathy. Yes. It's one of the ultra metallics, so it does not have glitter. It doesn't have the regular kind of metallic glitter situation. Oh, there is my husband's at the grocery store. I don't think my list was very clear. It's had a lot of questions so far. We're making it work. Colourpop Glitterati. This one I believe was limited edition, maybe? Not really sure. I really like this shade. I like it just for like an inner corner, kind of something a little bit interesting. This time I'm going to use it a little bit more generously. I feel like it's a really pretty, kind of unusual inner corner shadow, since it does have the glitter in it. But it's kind of a cool, kind of a mix between like a silver pewter with gold glitter. It's really, you know, some days you just force it. It's like, this is not looking good, but we're making it happen. Next, this I totally fell in love with it the first time I tried it. Colourpop shadow in Bill, which is kind of funny because I've been like, you know, I don't have a lot of spare time, so I've been kind of, what do they call it? Binging on True Blood, but I can only watch like 1 or 2 episodes a day. So I've been spending all of my kind of free time to myself watching True Blood. Yeah, anyway, Bill. I had a super awkward dream about Stephen Moyer / Bill, Vampire Bill this morning. Awkward. Woke up and was kind of like, what? Maybe I should take a break. Yeah. I did not watch it when it was originally on. Anyway, this color is really pretty. It seems like it's gonna be darker I find it's pretty easy to wear even though I'm higher. I don't know, it's a color I think that just kind of goes well on my skin tone with my undertones and whatnot. You know, a lot of things go very orange on me, so sometimes it's just nice to have something that I can kind of just do all over for a quick, like, give me some definition and color that doesn't end up looking orange. That seems like a kind of sad criteria, doesn't it? See how, like this side, I've taken it up further. It can be kind of tricky getting it high enough up and then it's like too low. Because I have a lot of skin, but in a space and not much kind of above this crease space. But it's all like in the, it's all in the grease. Does that make any sense? So sometimes I don't take things up high enough. Because it's like, oh, it seems like it's actually in my crease, but it is just, it goes away once my eyes open. Maybe I should blend between the yellow and that oil slick just a tiny bit, instead of like having a crazy harsh line. Now I get to pick some shoes for Colin. The other thing is that he has like kind of chunky feet, so you have to take that into account when selecting shoes, because sometimes they're just like impossible to get on his little chunky feet. Oh my goodness. I totally want to pick these, but I think they might be kind of hard to get on his feet. Also have to take into account that it takes forever to get a toddler moving, so complicated shoes makes that even more difficult. I do have some glitter, but I did like blend over the glitter shadow, so that's kind of not a surprise. Alright, I think I'm gonna get some eyeliner on first. So I'm gonna use the Colourpop gel mechanical liner business, cream gel liner they say, and this one's in Swerve, so it's just their black. Their liners stick on my waterline, my lower waterline really well, so I thought I would try, can't do this while talking. I thought I would try the black for tight lining and see how it wore. I wore it once yesterday, or I wore it for the first time yesterday. I did notice it transferred down onto my lower waterline a little bit, but not too much. And just because I wanted to show using it, I suppose, the Maybelline Master Precise Skinny, and this one is in the gray. Refined charcoal, it says. I'm gonna use that on my top lash line. Just a little tiny bit. I've used this on my waterline. I don't think it irritated my eyes or anything, so that's always a question. And I don't think it also like kind of, what the issue I tend to have with things on my upper waterline and tight line area is that it will kind of migrate into right here on my lower area, so I'll just get a kind of patch of eyeliner down there. I don't recall that happening with this one, so I do appreciate that. And it also didn't seem to irritate my eyes, and I do have kind of moderately sensitive eyes, I guess, to makeup. So this is, I got this because I finished the Marc Jacobs Fine Liner, and I decided I thought I'd try this one before buying the fine liner. I don't know if I'm going to. You know what I've really been liking for tight lining is the Laura Mercier Cake Liner. They don't irritate my eyes, they don't transfer, they last all day, they look really nice. The only problem is I have them inside of a palette, so it's just like, I tend to not think about it because I need to take that whole palette out, open it up, unfold this sliding out part thing, have some water, whatever. It's a little bit more complicated. So I have thought about seeing if I can depot them out of that palette just into a really small palette that I can keep like closer to me, more easily accessible, and maybe I would use them more. But those I think are probably my favorite formula for tight lining. So this is the Essence 2-in-1 eyeshadow and liner waterproof, and this one is in Light Me Up. So I bought this because TT Sandra mentioned it in a favorites, I believe. And she said it lasted a really long time on her. And my current, I think I already mentioned, my current favorite formula on the waterline is Colourpop. But I like that Essence is a little bit easier to get because it's not online only. Put on some Maybelline Full and Soft. Oh, that Rimmel mascara that's supposed to tint your lashes. As far as I could tell, it did nothing. I didn't like the wand, I didn't like the formula, and it didn't deliver on any sort of noticeable tinting, so if that's not a flop, I don't know what is. I think my coffee's done brewing. I should go get some. It's decaf, of course. I'm still nursing. Although he's only getting probably a couple ounces from me, but I don't want to. He's so sensitive, I don't want to mess with his minuscule amount of caffeine intake that he gets from me. If any of it's, if he's even getting like trace amounts at this point, but I don't want that to go from trace amounts to like a tiny, tiny amount and then he can't sleep or something. They say, I think within 300 milligrams, like stay under that for mom, and I'm getting 120 milligrams a day of caffeine, so I'm well below the recommended limit. But he had a lot of trouble with everything when he was younger, so I cut it down. So now I just drink Starbucks Morona decaf, which is a dark roast, I think. So it really, you can't tell the difference other than, you know, you're not getting any sort of caffeinated effects. But it's not like, you know, Maxwell House decaf, like super watery. Because I like my coffee to be dark and pretty strong. Maybelline Age Rewind. This is the Neutralizer, so kind of the yellow one. Everything's just looking kind of ashy gray under my eyes lately, so I thought maybe yellow would be a better fit. And I do like this formula. The problem with peach is that a lot of times they're just too dark for me, and so they end up looking orange. And getting one in a formula that works well under my eyes and the right color tone has been difficult. So I'm trying out the yellow to see if it just kind of meshes with the discoloration I have under there a little bit better and look a little less gray. Because it's like pinky things really play up the gray aspect, and just like standard concealer colors also. So he said the one that I liked with the dark blue laces wasn't too hard to put on, so that's what I'm voting for. Hopefully I don't get overruled. We'll see. Instead of the blue ones, he said these were a lot easier because they're not more of a high top style, so not a surprise. All right, so I'm just gonna put a little bit of the Bill on my lower lash line area. I'll be generous with Bill. Buxom Show Some Skin Weightless Foundation, it says, light to medium coverage, SPF 30, and it is in the shade Tickle the Ivory. This is more of a yellow based color, which is good for me, and it's very light. So I'm just gonna put this on with my little Real Techniques sponge. Actually, I like the way this applies when the Real Techniques sponge was not damp, because it is more on the sheer side, but I needed to wash it, so it's wet, damp, moist. What I've been using to set my makeup lately is the L'Oreal True Match in powder in W1, which is the lightest warm shade. I think they call it porcelain. Yep. And I've been using the MAC, oh man, it's already rubbed off. 133, I believe. Man, that happened fast. I haven't had this very long. And it's just been working really well for me. Since that Maybelline Age Rewind wears under my eyes pretty well, I'm just going to keep powder off that area because I put a really light amount, and I don't want it to look really dry. So I am going to put a little mascara on my lower lash line before, or lower lashes, before I forget about it. And I got the shadow in there. I'm gonna put in some eyebrows. The uemura Hard Number 9, Hard Formula, Seal Brown. I've been liking this. I like the color at the moment. And it's fairly subtle, which I appreciate because I am using a tinted brow gel as well, so it can get a little intense looking. So I'm mainly using it, since I have dyed my eyebrows somewhat recently, just to get the places where I have a little more sparseness and just give it a little bit more defined shape. And for my tinted brow gel, I got this because of TT Sandra as well. That's the Brow Stylist Plumper from L'Oreal, and this is in the shade Light Medium. Normally I would not go for this kind of shade, but it's not really... A lot of tinted brow gels can go on super intense and gloppy, and this is, I think, a little bit thinner of a formula, so you don't have to be so careful, and it doesn't come across as orange. It is kind of light and warm, but not really orangey. I mean, we're already looking kind of crazy, so maybe this would be a good fit. I was also thinking yesterday what I was going to do maybe for a quick look is this and the Bill, like something sparkly on top of Bill. That's not gonna not make me laugh for a while. So let's go ahead and do something a little bit more fun out of this palette. Let's do the green. Why not? Lucky Clover. I mean, we're already going a little bit sparkly, so why not go with the green highlight too? Just to keep the theme. Colourpop Aphrodisiac blush. This is also something new that I picked up. I'm gonna apply that with a brush. It's a really, really pretty subtle color. It looks kind of scary dark, but then when you put it on, it's pretty sheer. It's easy to apply sheerly, I should say. I imagine you could build it up, but for someone like me, I have a tendency to put things on too strongly, and I feel like the color tone, it works well for my skin tone. It looks like I put a lot on. It can be so hard to tell with these lights. Oh, almost dropped it. Now, I don't think I'm gonna keep it on, but I do want to show you this Colourpop Ultra Glossy Lip in my jam. It's one of the metallic lip glosses. So I got several things because they had 20% off flash sale on a selection of items, and this was one of them, including Bill and Telepathy, and the black liner and the blush. So I like this, and this is definitely easier to wear than the metallic, I'm assuming the metallic liquid lips. I don't know because I have not bought any, but like the Milani or the Colourpop metallic liquid lips and Jouer, and you know, it's a thing, right? The metallic lips trend. Well, gloss is certainly one of the more comfortable ways to wear that. And this one's super opaque, so, and it is metallic, so they really delivered on that. This isn't stinky, it's just very heavily fragranced. And it's not a fragrance I love, though I have come around to it. But this works better for me than any other dry shampoo. But it is very heavy on the powder. This is the NYX Butter Gloss in Cotton Candy, and this is another one of the things that I got from Ulta here recently. I really like the formula. So I have had creme brulee for a long time, and it's very nice, but it's a little bit less wearable because it is somewhat sheer, but it's also very light, and I don't really have barely any pigmentation to my lips, so it can look very pale. So I wanted to get things that gave me a little bit more color. So I think that's it. That's as much stuff as I'm going to cram on my face today, I believe. If you've picked anything up recently that you've been liking or not liking, if you've tried any of these, whether or not you like them, I always like to hear that. And yeah, I think that's it. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Thank you so much for watching as always, and I'll see you soon. Should I do a Lisa Eldridge style? She